Today we sharpen cold steel neck knife Tanto. Tanto has its specifics. When we sharpen a Tanto knife, it's like sharpening two knives and take about twice as long. I like to first sharpen the tip segment and then the main edge, because this way I get a nice angles of the tip and the main segment look nicer. Let's take sharpen as before. With tip we cannot use fulcrum, so I like to have a support for my hand. Okay. Obviously dull. Clamping the tip for sharpening, position it as parallel as possible to the edge of your knife jig. When the tip is steep like that, we can clamp it only in a corner of the knife jig, so we have to put a shim. I use a washer of thickness close to the spine of your blade into the knife jig. Look, your shim or washer must touch the blade. If your shim or washer is not very close to the thickness of the spine of your blade, you can put cloth tape, wrap it in the cloth tape to bring its thickness to the thickness of the spine. We use our jig setting block to make sure the edge is parallel with the adjustable stop and with the end of the knife jig. As I mentioned, bring the washer close to the blade so that it touches the blade, and tighten. This way, the blade is securely clamped in this direction, but it still has some play in outwards direction. So when we'll be grinding, I keep in mind that I have to exert little pressure against the washer at all times, so that the blade will stay in place. Note the jig projection. Our jig projection is, I will bring it to 140. Yep. Our jig projection is 140, and remember this number because when we'll be clamping knife to sharpen the main edge, we will set the jig projection to the same number. There is one trick that helps to keep the blade and this washer together, or shim. You can use a few strips of cloth tape. They help, but not 100% secure. Okay. This edge original angle is 15 degrees, and I have set my machines at the same 15 degrees. We use our grinding angle setter for that. When we sharpen a knife at the same edge angle that it already has, we usually start on the grid 400, and that's what we are doing now. This CBN wheel is grid 400. Check frequently and grind a nice bevel. Okay, and this side is finished. It's a bit dark here. And this side is finished as well. It's pretty dark here. I will try to show you. If you can close up on the bevel, please. And quite symmetric. Keep the knife clamped through all the sharpening sequence, all the grids and all the honing. So next we move to the grit 1000 wheel. Yeah, a grit 1000 when you need is just one pass. And we move to honing. We hone using our frontal vertical base And the honing angle we set with the help of our software, FVB angle setter, for the frontal vertical base. Honey fountain. I like to do 2 passes each side. And then check if we've removed the burr. Yeah, we've removed the burr. I also like to finish with the chromium oxide. So I have a dedicated leather wheel with pure chromium oxide. All you need is just 1 pass. Now we clean the blade and measure sharpness. I realized that I can remove the knife. This sharpness is what people call insane sharp. Now we clamp the knife to sharpen the main blade. And as I mentioned before, pay attention to set the jig projection to the same number. In our case it is 140. This way all the machines are already set and you don't have to change anything, just continue with the main segment. Just double check that it is 140. Yep. So we'll be grinding the main segment of the edge at the same 15 degrees per side. And again we start on grit 400, continue on grit 1000 and finish with honing. I want to tell you one interesting moment, and we meet it more often than I wish. You see the choil here. The choil purpose is to ease your grinding. So it is inviting you to grind all the way to the choil. However, in this blade thickness, if you can do an edge on filming, blade thickness near the choil is thicker than it is along the edge. So if we continue grinding all the way through the choil, our bevel will go high. How to show it? So this is the bevel line. If we continue grinding through the thickening of the choil, then our bevel will climb up like this. So I stop close to the choil, not grinding through it. Yeah, the bow there. Yeah, we've raised the burr and can move to the grit 1000. Because of this choil moment, choil specific, as you see, I start with the tip end of the main edge and accurately move towards the choil, not to overgrind the choil. Good. Now we move to honing. And we hone by 2 passes, each side alternating. You know that I like to finish with chromium oxide? The question is, do we really need to do that? Do we really gain extra sharpness by doing that? So let us measure sharpness now after honing with the turmeric honing paste and after we hone with the chromium oxide. So this is sharpness after the turmeric honing paste. Turmeric honing paste, and we will have chromium oxide here. Just one pass. Clean the edge. And measure sharpness. Gain in sharpness is next to nothing. The steel in this knife is AUS 8A, if I remember right. So when you sharpen this steel, you can finish just with turmeric honing compound and don't bother about chromium oxide. That's it about sharpening Tantos. Vertical cut. Oh, effortless. Just dropping through. By the sharpness readings, horizontal cut shouldn't go as smoothly, but let's give it a try. Yeah, as expected. Let's try pepper filleting. Goes just nicely.